If you're over 60, you'll want to know about this one vitamin for nerve damage. If you have ever dropped your phone for no reason, felt like you were walking on gravel when the floor is perfectly smooth, or woken up at 3 in the morning with your feet burning like they are on fire, what I am about to tell you could change everything. You have probably been told this is just what happens when you get older, that your nerves are wearing out and there's nothing you can do about it. That is not true. Right now, there's a 50 to 50% chance your body is suffering from a starvation crisis that has nothing to do with how much you eat and everything to do with a single vitamin your cells can no longer absorb after age 60. The damage this causes is terrifying. But if you catch it now, while your nerves are still sending pain signals, it is completely reversible. Stay with me, because what you are about to learn will finally explain why your hands and feet feel the way they do, and exactly what you need to do tomorrow morning to stop it from getting worse. Let me describe something, and you tell me if this sounds familiar. You are walking through your house, and suddenly your foot does not land where your brain thought it would. You stumble, you catch yourself on the wall, your heart races, because for a split second, you thought you were going to fall. Or maybe you are holding a coffee mug with both hands now, not because it is heavy, but because last week you dropped a full glass of water and it shattered all over the kitchen floor. Your hands look fine. You are not shaking. But somehow your fingers just let go. Or maybe the worst part is not the daytime. Maybe it is the nights. You are exhausted. You finally get into bed, and the second your legs slide under the covers, your feet start their nightly torture. Burning, buzzing, a deep ache. You cannot scratch or soothe, no matter how many times you flip the pillow or stick one leg out from under the blanket. You have probably gone to the doctor about this. You sat in that exam room and described the tingling, the numbness, the feeling that your feet are not entirely yours anymore. And what did they do? They glanced at your chart. They saw your age, and they said the words that made you feel invisible. This is normal aging. It happens to everyone. Here is a prescription for gabapentin. Be careful on the stairs. They sent you home with a pill that does not fix anything. It just disconnects your brain from the pain. It makes you dizzy, foggy. It turns you into a zombie, just so you do not feel what is actually happening. But here is what they did not tell you. What you are experiencing is not normal aging. It is nerve starvation. And the fuel your nerves are starving for is something your body has completely lost the ability to extract from food. This is not your fault. You did not do anything wrong, but if you do not fix this now, the numbness will spread, your balance will get worse, and eventually, you will lose the independence you have spent your entire life building. But I want you to take a breath right now, because you are here. You found this video. That means you still have time. Before we go any further, I need you to do something. Go to the comments section right now and tell me 3 things. Your age, what state or country you are watching from, and which symptom you are dealing with. Numbness, tingling, burning, cramping, balance problems, or all of the above. I read every single comment. And when you read what other people are writing, you will finally see that you are not imagining this. You are not weak. And you are absolutely not alone. Here is the truth. Your 12-minute doctor appointment does not have the time or the financial incentive to explain. Your nervous system is one of the most energy-hungry systems in your entire body. Your brain, your spinal cord, and the millions of microscopic nerve fibers running down to your fingertips and toes are working every single second of every single day. They are constantly sending signals, monitoring temperature, tracking pressure, calculating balance, preventing injury, and all of that requires fuel. The primary fuel your nerves use to maintain themselves, to repair damage, and to stay wrapped in their protective insulation is a vitamin called B12. Without B12, your nerve cells cannot produce the fatty coating that keeps signals moving fast and clean. Without B12, damaged nerves cannot repair themselves. Without B12, the communication highway between your brain and your feet starts to break down. And here's the devastating part. After age 60, your body loses up to 70% of its ability to absorb B12 from food. It does not matter if you are eating salmon 3 times a week. It does not matter if you are having eggs every morning. It does not matter if your diet is pristine and you are doing everything right. Your stomach has stopped producing enough of a critical protein called intrinsic factor. And without intrinsic factor, the B12 in your food just slides right through your digestive system without ever entering your bloodstream. Think of intrinsic factor like a key. B12 is the fuel. But without the key, the fuel cannot unlock the door into your cells. So it just passes through and ends up in the toilet. You are eating all the right foods, but your internal machinery has quietly shut down, and this is why your doctor missed it. Standard blood work does not catch this. A basic metabolic panel does not test for functional B12 deficiency. You could have B12 floating around in your bloodstream, but none of it actually getting into your nerve cells where it is needed. So your lab work comes back normal, your doctor sees nothing alarming, and you get sent home with a pain pill and a pat on the back. But your nerves are screaming. The tingling you feel is not randomness. It is an alarm. The burning is not in your head. It is your nerve fibers misfiring because the insulation around them is breaking down. And the numbness, that terrifying dead silence when you press your foot into the floor and feel absolutely nothing, that is the point where the nerve has gone completely dark. This is the part that keeps me up at night. Because once a nerve goes fully numb, once it stops sending any signal at all, the window to reverse the damage starts closing fast. But if you're still feeling pain, if you're still feeling tingling or burning, that means the nerve is still alive. It is still fighting, and that means you can still save it. Now, here's where it gets even more frustrating. Even if you know you need B12, even if you went out and bought a bottle from the pharmacy and started taking it every single day, there are 3 silent thieves actively blocking that vitamin from ever reaching your nerves. And if you do not identify and neutralize these thieves, you will keep taking B12 and keep feeling nothing. Let me show you exactly what is stealing your nerve protection right now. Thief number 1, your aging stomach. This is pure biology. It is not something you caused. It is just what happens as we age. When you were in your 30 seconds and 40 seconds, your stomach produced strong, highly acidic gastric juice. That acid had one job: to break apart the proteins in the food you ate and extract the vitamins hidden inside. You could eat a piece of grilled chicken or a hard-boiled egg, and your stomach acid would rip that food apart at the molecular level and pull out almost all of the B12. But after 60, your natural stomach acid production drops off a cliff. Some people lose 40% of their acid strength. Others lose 60 or 70%. And without that strong acid, the B12 stays locked inside the food. Your body cannot extract it. You chew it, you swallow it, and it just passes straight through. You are pouring fuel into the tank, but there is a massive hole in the line. This is why eating a healthy diet is not enough anymore. Your digestion is no longer capable of doing the extraction work it used to do automatically. Thief number 2, your daily medications. This is the cruelest part of modern medicine. The pills that are keeping you alive are also starving your nerves to death. If you are taking a proton pump inhibitor for acid reflux or heartburn, drugs like omeprazole, esomeprazole, lansoprazole, pantoprazole, you need to hear this. These medications work by shutting down the acid-producing cells in your stomach. That is their entire purpose. Less acid means less reflux, less burning in your chest. And for that specific problem, they work beautifully. But here's what nobody told you when they handed you that prescription. B12. Absorption requires a highly acidic environment. You need that stomach acid to release B12 from the proteins in your food. When you chemically neutralize your stomach acid with a proton pump inhibitor, you are also neutralizing your ability to absorb B12. Studies have shown that people who take these medications for more than 2 years have a 65% higher risk of severe B12 deficiency. Every single morning, when you swallow that pill to stop the heartburn, you are also stopping your body from feeding your nerves. Now, let me be very clear. I am not telling you to throw that medication in the trash. If your doctor prescribed it to protect your esophagus or manage a serious condition, you need to keep taking it. But you must replace what it is stealing. You must actively supplement in a way that bypasses the damage. Now, let's talk about metformin. If you are taking metformin to manage your blood sugar, this drug is quietly doing the same thing. Metformin does not block stomach acid. It works differently. It alters the lining of your intestines and disrupts the bacteria in your gut. Your gut bacteria play a critical role in activating and absorbing B vitamins. When metformin changes that environment, your ability to pull B12 out of your food drops dramatically. Research shows that people on metformin for more than 4 months have significantly lower B12 levels. Most of them have no idea because nobody warned them. Even over-the-counter antacids are doing this. Tums, Rolaids, those chalky tablets you chew after a heavy meal. They neutralize whatever stomach acid you have left. And every time you take one, you are shutting down nutrient absorption for the next several hours. This is the ultimate betrayal. The medical system gives you pills to manage your symptoms. Those pills create a nutritional void. That void destroys your nerves. And when you complain about the nerve pain, they give you another pill to numb your brain so you stop complaining. Nobody is fixing the root cause. Thief number 3, your declining gut health. Even if you are not taking medications, even if your stomach acid is decent, there's a third problem happening silently in your intestines. As we age, the lining of the small intestine starts to deteriorate. The tiny finger-like projections called villi that grab onto nutrients and pull them into your bloodstream become shorter, fewer, and less effective. On top of that, bacterial overgrowth becomes more common. Bad bacteria start to outnumber the good bacteria. And when that balance tips, those bad bacteria actually consume the B12 in your gut before your body ever gets a chance to absorb it. You are feeding the wrong organisms. This is why some people eat B12-rich foods, take B12 supplements, and still test deficient. The bacteria in their gut are stealing it before it ever reaches their bloodstream. And finally, the production of intrinsic factor, that critical protein I mentioned earlier, declines naturally with age. Some people stop producing it almost entirely. And without intrinsic factor, even if you flood your system with B12, your intestines cannot grab it and pull it in. This is why food is not enough. This is why a standard multivitamin does not work. And this is why your nerve pain has not gone away, even though you've been trying to do everything right. You are fighting 3 silent thieves at the same time. And unless you use the exact right form of B12, delivered in the exact right way, those thieves will keep winning. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You have already tried this. You went to the pharmacy. You bought a bottle of B12. You took it every single day for 2 months, and you felt absolutely nothing. You thought vitamins do not work. You thought your body is too broken. You thought you wasted your money. Let me tell you exactly why that failed, and it has nothing to do with your body being beyond repair. You bought the wrong form. Go into your medicine cabinet right now and grab that bottle of B12. Look at the back label where it lists the ingredients. I can almost guarantee it says one of 2 things: cyanocobalamin or hydroxycobalamin. These are the cheap synthetic forms of B12 that manufacturers love because they cost pennies to produce and they last forever on a warehouse shelf. But your body cannot use them directly. When you swallow cyanocobalamin, it goes into your stomach, enters your bloodstream, and then travels to your liver. Your liver then has to perform a complex chemical conversion to transform that synthetic compound into the active form of B12 your nerves actually recognize and need. And here's the problem. After age 60, especially if you are taking medications, drinking alcohol occasionally, or dealing with any kind of chronic inflammation, your liver's ability to perform that conversion drops dramatically. So you swallow the pill. Your liver tries to convert it, but it only manages to activate maybe 10 or 15% of what you took. The rest gets filtered out by your kidneys and flushed away in your urine a few hours later. You are putting fuel into the system, but your body is only able to use a tiny fraction of it. It is like trying to charge your phone with a damaged cable that only connects intermittently. You plug it in, you wait, but the battery stays dead. What your nerves need, what they are literally starving for, is the pre-activated form of B12 that your body can use immediately without any liver processing. That form is called methylcobalamin. Methylcobalamin is B12 that is already in the exact molecular structure your nerve cells recognize. No conversion required, no liver involved, no middleman. When methylcobalamin enters your bloodstream, it goes directly to your nerve tissue and immediately starts the repair process. It is like handing your cells the exact tool they need in the exact size and shape they have been asking for. This is the form used in neurology clinics across Europe and Japan when they are treating serious neuropathy. This is what hospitals use when nerve damage is severe and they cannot afford to waste time hoping the liver will do its job. And yet the average American pharmacy sells you the cheap version because it is more profitable. Most people do not know there is a difference. Now that you know what form you need, let me give you the exact clinical protocol I use with my own patients who are dealing with nerve damage. Treat this like a prescription. Write it down if you need to. First, dosage matters. You need between 1,000 and 2,500 micrograms of methylcobalamin per day. Not 100, not 250. We are trying to flood your system and reverse years of depletion. If your symptoms are mild, if you are just starting to notice occasional tingling, start at 1,000 micrograms. If your symptoms are severe, if you are losing balance or waking up in pain every night, go to 2,500 micrograms. Some people worry that is too much. It is not. B12 is water-soluble, which means your body uses what it needs and excretes the rest. There is no realistic risk of toxicity at these doses. Second, delivery method is critical. You want sublingual tablets. That means tablets that dissolve under your tongue. Why does this matter so much? Because sublingual absorption bypasses your entire digestive system. It skips your low stomach acid. It skips your compromised gut. It skips the whole mess we just talked about. When you place a sublingual tablet under your tongue, the B12 absorbs directly through the thin mucous membranes in your mouth and goes straight into your bloodstream. Within minutes, it is circulating through your body and reaching your nerve cells. Pills that you swallow still have to survive your stomach acid, or lack of it, and make it through your intestines. Sublingual skips all of that. Here is how to do it correctly. Place the tablet under your tongue. Do not chew it. Do not swallow it right away. Let it sit there and dissolve completely. This takes about 60 to 90 seconds. Your mouth will start to water. That is normal. Just let the tablet melt and let your body absorb it. After it is fully dissolved, then you can swallow. Third, timing matters. Take it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. B vitamins are the energy currency of your cells. They wake up your metabolism. They turn on your cellular engines. If you take this at 6 or 7 in the evening with dinner, your nervous system is going to be flooded with energy right when you are trying to wind down for bed. You will be lying there at midnight, staring at the ceiling completely wired. Morning administration gives your body the fuel when it actually needs it. And by the time evening comes, the energy boost has leveled out, and you can sleep normally. Fourth, B12 does not work alone. It needs its partner vitamins to complete the nerve repair process. You also need folate, but not folic acid. You need the active form called methylfolate. And you need vitamin B6, but not pyridoxine. Hydrochloride. You need the active form called P5P, or pyridoxal 5-phosphate. These 3 B vitamins work as a team. They support each other. B12 rebuilds the nerve insulation. Methylfolate helps produce the chemicals your nerves use to communicate. P5P supports the electrical signaling itself. Taking B12 by itself is like sending one construction worker to rebuild an entire house. Look for a high-quality B complex supplement that lists these specific active forms on the label. Methylcobalamin, methylfolate, BU-P. If the label just says generic B12, folic acid, and pyridoxine, put it back on the shelf. One more thing. Do not take your B12 with coffee or hot tea. Heat can destroy the vitamin before your body absorbs it. Take it with room temperature water. Wait at least 20 minutes before you drink anything hot, and avoid taking high-dose vitamin C at the exact same time. Vitamin C is incredibly good for you, but when taken simultaneously with B12 in large amounts, it can interfere with absorption Space them out by a few hours if you take both. Now, let me tell you what is going to happen when you do this correctly. I want you to know the timeline so you do not panic, so you do not get discouraged, and so you do not quit right before your body starts to heal. In the first 1 to 2 weeks, you probably will not notice much change in your nerve symptoms yet. Nerve tissue heals slowly, especially after years of starvation. But here is what you will notice. Your energy will come back. That heavy, exhausting brain fog that drags you down every afternoon will start to lift. You will feel sharper, clearer, more present. That is your brain cells lighting back up because they finally have fuel again. In weeks 3 to 4, this is where it gets interesting and where some people mistakenly think something is wrong. You might actually feel more tingling, more buzzing, more strange sensations in your hands and feet. Do not panic. This is not a bad reaction. This is called re-innervation. Your damaged nerves are waking back up. Dead nerve fibers that had gone completely silent are starting to send signals again. It feels weird because you have been numb for so long that your brain forgot what normal sensation feels like. It is like when your foot falls asleep and then blood rushes back in. That pins and needles feeling is uncomfortable, but it is proof that circulation is returning. The same thing is happening in your nerves. They're coming back online. If tingling becomes too intense, drop your dose to 1,000 micrograms for a few days and then slowly build back up to 2,500. Between weeks 6 and 8, this is when the relief starts. The burning pain begins to quiet down. It fades from a constant roar to a dull hum and then to silence. The cramping at night becomes less frequent. You start sleeping through the night again without waking up in pain. Your balance improves. You walk across a room without hesitation. You do not have to look down at your feet anymore to make sure they are flat on the floor before you put your weight on them. You get dressed in the morning, and the buttons on your shirt just work. Your hands remember what to do. You pick up your coffee mug, and you do not even think about it because your grip is confident again. You step into your car, and you actually feel the brake pedal under your foot. You know exactly how much pressure you are applying. That terrifying uncertainty is gone. By month 3 to month 6, this is where you get your life back. The pain is gone. Your balance is solid. You are sleeping. You are walking. You are living without that constant background, fear of falling or dropping something or losing your independence. Some people heal faster. Some take the full 6 months. It depends on how depleted you were to begin with, how long the damage has been happening, and how consistent you are with the protocol. But if you stay consistent, if you take the right form at the right dose every single morning without skipping, your body will heal. Now, I need to give you 2 critical warnings because this is health content, and I want you to be safe. First, if you are currently being treated for any form of cancer, or if you have had cancer in the past 5 years, talk to your oncologist before you start supplementing with high-dose B vitamins. There are specific cases where this needs to be discussed and monitored. This does not mean you cannot take it. Second, if you're on blood thinners, especially warfarin, high-dose B vitamins can sometimes interact with your medication. Again, you are not disqualified from using them, but your doctor may need to monitor your levels more closely and adjust your dosage accordingly. For everyone else, this is one of the safest interventions you can possibly make. B12 is water-soluble. Your body uses what it needs and excretes the excess. There's no realistic toxicity concern at these therapeutic doses. But let me be very clear about something. This information is meant to support your health. It is not a replacement for medical treatment. If you have been diagnosed with a serious nerve condition, like diabetic neuropathy, or you have symptoms that are rapidly getting worse, you need to see a doctor. Do not ignore serious medical symptoms, and do not stop taking prescribed medications without talking to your doctor first. If you are on metformin or a proton pump inhibitor, those medications are managing real conditions. The solution is not to stop them. The solution is to actively replace what they are taking away. If this video is making sense to you, if the pieces are finally clicking into place, do me a favor and hit that like button right now. It tells YouTube that this information matters, and it helps this video reach someone else who is lying awake tonight wondering what is wrong with their feet. Now, Here's where we are. You have two paths in front of you. Path 1, you close this video. You tell yourself you will think about it later. Life gets busy. The pain becomes your new normal. You adapt. You start using the wall to steady yourself. You stop driving at night because you do not trust your feet on the pedals anymore. You avoid stairs. You turn down invitations because you are afraid of falling in public. 6 months from now, you are worse. The numbness has spread. You have fallen once, maybe twice. Your family is talking about whether you should still be living alone. Your world has quietly shrunk to the smallest, safest version of itself. Or path 2, you take action today. You write down this protocol. You go online or to a health store and you get methylcobalamin in sublingual form. You get a B complex with the right active ingredients. And tomorrow morning, you commit to 90 days. You do not skip. You do not quit after 3 weeks because you are not seeing results yet. You trust the process and you give your body the time it needs to heal. And in 3 months, you come back to this video and you leave a comment telling me you can feel your feet again, that you slept through the night, that you walked to the mailbox without thinking about it, that you are back. I have seen this happen hundreds of times. Your body wants to heal. It is designed to heal. You just have to give it the right materials in the right form. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to Wellness Secrets right now, because in the next video, I'm going to show you the 3 foods that are silently destroying your nerve health. Even though they are marketed as healthy and heart-friendly, you need to see that it is going to surprise you. And if you know someone over 60 who is dealing with numbness, tingling, burning feet, or balance problems, send them this video, share it. It could change their life. This is Wellness Secrets. Your nerve pain is not in your head. Your symptoms are not just normal aging, and your body is absolutely not too broken to heal. You just need the right nutrient in the right form at the right dose. Methylcobalamin, 1,000 to 2,500 micrograms, sublingual, every morning. That is your protocol. Write it down. Start tomorrow. In 90 days, your life could look completely different. Take back your independence. Your nerves are waiting for you.